Well, Dennis Shanahan is a political editor for The Australian. That's the country's largest newspaper, and he joins us now. Dennis, great to see you. What has been the overall reaction from the Australian public there? There's got to be a lot of uncertainty with the stock market taking a big hit.
Good morning, Natasha. Yes, there has been quite a reaction. It actually took people by surprise. They thought there would be a close Remain vote. Instead, there's been a fairly clear Brexit. And as a result, the financial markets reacted very quickly. The Australian dollar has dropped against the US dollar. And more so, though, it has really intervened in the election campaign. Australia is in the last 5-6 days of an election campaign, and the Prime Minister has really leapt on the issue to make the point about economic stability and future trade with the EU and Britain.
Dennis, as you rightly point out, because we're talking about David Cameron's resignation today and that the UK will have an election coming soon, but it's only 1 week out until Australia decides who their Prime Minister will be. Is this likely to boost Malcolm Turnbull's chances or help the Labor Party?
I think it's pretty clear that it will boost Malcolm Turnbull's chances. We've had a long campaign here by Australian standards, and the government has been campaigning all the way through about stability, particularly government stability. And of course, we've had 5 changes of Prime Minister in the last few years. And so there is a certain reluctance in the public to want to change Prime Ministers again. And as well as that, the coalition has been campaigning very strongly on economic stability and a return to budget surplus. The Labor Party has been campaigning more on a spending and taxing issue, and it seems that the Brexit will play into the coalition's hands and help a re-election of the Conservative government here.
Dennis, you speak a lot about the economy. Geographically, Australia is a long way away from Europe and most of the world, really, but it does still play a very big role in the global economy. Where do you see this? How do you see that playing out now that Brexit has occurred?
Well, of course, historically, we're not as dependent on the UK investment as we have been in previous decades, where the United Kingdom has been the biggest investor in Australia. But of course, that's changed in recent times. We now deal much more in the Asian sector, in the Asian region. But I think that we've also been reaching out to Europe for a European Union free trade agreement. We've just done very big free trade agreements with Japan, Korea and China, and we were hoping to extend that free trade agreement area to the European Union. We now have to consider what we do with the United Kingdom and the EU. And we have to remember that when the United Kingdom first joined the common market many years back, it had quite an impact on Australian primary producers and our financial and investment services. So this does have potential for no immediate real impact, but for long-term change as far as trade and economic activity is concerned.
Political editor of The Australian newspaper, Dennis Shanahan, thank you so much for joining us.